find yourself venturing into a world that is unfamiliar to you in every single way. All you have to your name is your wits and a broken phone that has no internet. But wait, you have the MidFall Podcast in your hands. Here you can listen to the tales of your three hosts, Luis, Josh, and Jared, as they venture through their own creative woes and whatnot. Get ready to be entertained through your wildest dreams as you conquer and face this new threatening world.
Welcome back to another episode of the MidFall Podcast. My name is Glenn. I'll be hosting today's episode, and I am joined with your main three, Luis, Jared, and Josh.
Sir. Hi, Luis, Jared.
Oh, Luis, Jared, and Josh. All right, so today we're gonna switch it up a little bit. I know we've gone through Ghosts, we've gone through Digimon, we've gone through D&D. Today we're gonna tackle a little bit of true crime. So looking at a little bit of horrors that's happening in real life here. For today's episode, we'll be heading into Finland. So, all right, let's get ready for the ride. Lake camping, we've done it in some form or another. Super common activity for a lot of young people, young adults, parents, kids, everyone really is what I'm trying to say. It's almost like a rite of passage for some, with very minimal barriers to entry. All you need is a lake, some friends, a tent, or maybe even just sleeping bags, and a good time. And there's this kind of promise that things are going to be great and nothing's ever going to happen out there. Except in Lake Bodoming in Finland, something did. It's June 5th, 1960. 4 teenagers, 2 boys, 2 girls, pitched their tent near the shore. They're just kids doing kids things, hanging out, laughing, playing music, things like that. And by sunrise, 3 of them are dead, and 1 is critically injured, and it was almost a miracle that he survived. It has been more than 60 years since this murder mystery happened, and no one's ever been convicted, and we still don't know who did it. So today we're looking at the murders at Lake Bodoming. Let's talk about Finland real quick. Do you guys know anything about Finland?
Josh, my Mr. Freaking GeoGuessr bro.
Yeah, Finland actually has certain characteristics that when you see it on GeoGuessr, you just know it's Finland. Like the trees look really nice. Certain signage, that's all I know.
It's all just GeoGuessrs.
Actually,
GeoGuessr knowledge,
that's
all I
crazy.
know. That's really all
Also this. Have you been there?
No, I haven't. I want to though. I want to go to Estonia. I think Finland's right above Estonia or something like that.
I think out of all of us, Josh would be the closest candidate to visiting Finland.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll go together someday.
That's true. We could have a Finland episode.
In the forest of Finland. I'm not going to that
little
lake.
snippet.
This is where they got murdered. Will we get murdered?
Oh my God.
No, that'd be too
What?
dark.
No. We're pointing to it. Like we're just
Yeah, we're
these
far
people.
away.
The people
Yeah.
we're gonna learn about today.
Yeah.
As
So,
presented by Janor.
not this. Not the 2 legals. So first off, Finland, according to the OECD, which is like the International Safety Committee, it says that 88% of Finns say they feel safe walking around alone at night, which is well above the average statistic around the world. And also their homicide rate is super duper slow. It's actually less than half of the worldwide average of 1.2 murders per 100,000 inhabitants. So murders in Finland are so rare, not to mention like a big group killing like this one. The Nordic region altogether, like Norway or Denmark or Sweden, are also one of the lowest crime rates in the world, although Sweden and Denmark lately have been slowly creeping up due to gang-related shootings, bombings, things like that. yeah, so what does this mean for our case? On one hand, we're dealing with a country that is globally seen as safe, which makes the violent murders stand out even more starkly. On the other hand, because they live in a quote-unquote safe society, where serious crimes don't really happen too often, the consequences are really great and generational for the community involved. It also shows maybe that some systems aren't in place to properly deal with major cases like this. So when you hear about a brutal attack in a place like Finland, it's statistically far less likely than many countries, but also the expectations for the murder are different, and that can shape how the case has unfolded, which will be revealed later, I'll say. So around 11 p.m. Was the last known hearing and sighting of these kids, the 3 kids that were murdered and 1 that survived, the victims. The lake was calm. People reported hearing them laugh, have the radio playing, things like that. And then around 4 to 6 a.m., that's kind of when this crime happens. So someone, we don't know who, attacks the kids from outside the tent, rips open the canvas with a knife, bludgeons and stabs all 4 victims, leaving 3 dead at the scene and 1 barely alive. They were found by hikers early that morning, where the tent collapsed and inside was chaos. The tent was torn up, covered in blood, scattered footprints inside and around the tent, as well as scattered belongings. And then there was one specific strange clue that we'll uncover later. As I was saying before, crime, especially back then, wasn't too evident in Finland. So when the police arrive, they don't seal off the area. So reporters, curious campers, locals, all trample through, with some of them taking evidence for keepsakes. So some of the evidence are completely gone. Imagine walking into that scene. You think this will be solved in like a week. Like you think about it now, like everything's tracked. We have enough references for, I feel like, a lot of major cases like this to be solved. But back then, it goes the exact opposite way. Okay, so we're gonna go for a quick break and play Guess the Facts. I'll give you 3 possible facts of this case. 1 is true, and the other 2 are completely made up. So, fact number 1. The murder weapon was recovered under the tent once their victims were moved. Fact number 2. The survivors' shoes were found half a kilometer away. Fact number 3. One victim managed to carve out the letter's initial into the tent wall before they died. All right, any guesses?
Wait, what initials?
The victim, one of the victims managed to carve the killer's initials into the tent before they died.
So, both of the latter facts point towards, the killer. And what was the first fact again?
The first fact was the murder weapon was uncovered under the tent once the victims were moved.
Oh, I see. The first fact and the third fact point towards, this could be the killer. The second fact is about
the survivors'
shoes of the person
belongings. Yeah. Being half a kilometer away.
I think it's the second one. The kilometer shoes thing.
Yeah, I'm feeling neither.
How about you, Luis? Yeah. You said the second one as well, Jared?
Wait, sorry.
Yeah, I was thinking the second or third.
That we're saying that is false?
No, 1 is true. I think they're saying
1 is
either
true?
2 or 3 is true.
Oh, yeah. I'm with Jared then on this one too, because 2 seems for sure, but then I was leaning towards 3 being. What was number 1 again?
The murder weapon was uncovered under the tent.
Wow.
I just can't believe a murderer would leave the weapon or lose the weapon under the tent, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess if they messed up the tent, it could get into it. I don't know.
Unless the murderer wasn't. I'm checking. Unless it wasn't. But. Yeah, let's just go with number 2 is false. Or is the. Yeah.
It's true.
I'm going number 2. Well.
Yeah.
The shoes one is just so arbitrary that I cannot believe it.
Yeah.
And ding, ding, ding. You guys are all correct. It was number 2. The survivor's shoes were found 500 meters away from the scene, and no one has ever figured out why. And for the audience out there, if you guessed right, you're already better than the investigators. The only survivor, was an 18-year-old, Nils Gustafsson. He survived with a broken jaw, a concussion, and many deep cuts all over his body. When he woke up, he said he didn't remember much, just being attacked through the tent wall. The police interrogated him, accepted his story, but decades later, new forensic methods allowed the case to be reopened. Investigators re-examined blood pattern analysis, wounds on both the victim and the survivors, and those infamous shoes. New questions start to pop up, and the first thing they ask is, could the survivor have been the killer? Dun, dun, dun. Their initial findings were kind of supporting the fact that maybe his injuries were self-inflicted and that he attacked his friends in a jealous rage because his other friend was trying to get with his girl. And the whole scene was staged. A lot of the other investigators that's not local were saying there's no way, the trauma was too severe. He was almost dead, you know? Like, there's no way he could have done it himself. He didn't almost kill himself just to hide it. Pretty much, it split Finland in half. Half believed he was innocent, half thought he fooled everyone. And in 2005, remember this happened in 1960, 45 years later, they put him on trial. What do you guys think?
Okay.
You think it?
Can you go ahead and give me one more quick synopsis of the story one more time, please?
So they reopened the case using new technology, and it's leaning more towards the fact that maybe he staged the whole scene and self-inflicted the injuries. But the other half is his injuries were so severe that there's no way he did it to himself because he was almost dead.
Yeah.
All right, well, keep that in your mind. We're going to do guess the fact number 2. During the trial, one of these 3 things happened, and the other 2 are made up. So fact number 1, the court ruled he was too injured to have committed the case, or to have committed the murders. Fact 2, during the trial, Nils confessed that he was under hypnosis, and that's what caused him to attack his friends. Fact number 3, the police produced the murder weapon in court.
Like they presented a fake
Oh,
weapon?
oh.
No, they found the real murder weapon and brought it to court.
I'd say probably that one.
I think it's the hypnosis one. I think it sounds so stupid.
I know. I was thinking that too. It sounds so far out of here.
Yeah. I didn't murder people. I was under hypnosis.
Claiming insanity.
of legally blind.
What do you guys guesses? Lock it in.
What was the first one again?
First one is the court proved him innocent and that his injuries were too severe to have been committing the murders.
I don't think it's the first one, because if he was just proven innocent like that, this podcast episode wouldn't be happening unless it was like revealed that he did it later on. So I don't think it's the first one that he just instantly gets exonerated. I think it's the second one, hypnosis.
What do you think, Luis? Murder weapon? Murder weapon?
Murder weapon.
Okay. And Jared?
I'm gonna go with 2. Just for the shits and giggles.
Okay. So, we're gonna do 2 hypnosis and 1 murder. The answer is... Ding, ding, ding. Number 1. The court ruled that he was too injured to have committed the murders.
Dang.
So that day he was acquitted. He walked free. And to this day, he insists he doesn't remember what happened. Do you guys believe that?
That's crazy. I mean, like, even if he's innocent, that's crazy. I mean, I guess they had... I don't know.
My whole thing is, like, it's a case based off memories. And I feel like a lot of the cases that we see now has proven that, like, human memories aren't the best indicators of, you know.
I mean, how, like, beat up are we talking about?
Oh, he was, like, close to dying.
Oh,
like, he
like-
was...
Yeah, you're right.
He was, like, they almost didn't save him. Close to dying.
Yeah.
And I think that was the main thing that kind of, like, allowed people to believe a little bit, you know? So,
Yeah.
if Nils didn't do it, who did? If we take Nils Gustafsson off the board, if we assume he really is innocent and he's really just a victim who was lucky enough to survive, that leaves, you know, the question of who done did it. And good news is there are suspects apart from the victim, Nils. Suspect number 1, the mysterious blonde man, which in Finland or like the Nordic countries is the most useless description I can think of. It's like, yeah, he was tall and blonde. I'm like, yeah, that's everyone who lives here, bro. But on that day, June 5th, 1960, several witnesses reported seeing a blonde man hiking near the campsite in the early hours of June 5th. He was tall, again, useless, middle-aged, walking from the lake sometime between 6 and 7 a.m., which is right after when the murders happened. Around the same time, he was seen driving a light-colored car parked off the road near the campsite. Police canvassed the area, but they never found him. This blonde man fits the outsider theory, a stranger kind of just passing by, randomly committing the crime, seeing it as like a crime of opportunity with no real rhyme or reason. But with no name, no fingerprints, he kind of became a myth. Like, no one really believed that he really existed, because, I mean, they can't really prove it. And even to this day, despite the sketches, like, they did, like, artist renderings of this man, he was never found. So, theory number 1 is the mysterious blonde man. Theory number 2 is someone called Hans Asman. Quote-unquote, the German stranger. This one is the most infamous alternative suspect. Hans Asman was a German immigrant who lived in Finland, just 15 miles from Lake Bodom. He allegedly came to a hospital the day after the murders, disheveled, nervous, with blackened fingernails, and clothes stained with blood and dirt. Hospital thought that he might be connected, but the police were never able to follow up completely and thoroughly. Although Asman had a reputation, he was rumored to be old Soviet intelligence and connected to other mysterious crimes in Finland, including the Kiliki-Saari murders in 1953, although he denied involvement to both until his death in 1997. But a nurse on his deathbed says he made cryptic statements about, quote-unquote, knowing what happened at Lake Bodom in Finland, end quote. So Osman lived close by. He matched the vague description of a blonde man. He was blonde, he was tall, he was middle-aged. He had a history of violent behaviors. He was questioned, but never charged. And to this day, many Finnish investigators who are like looking back at this true crime, unsolved mystery, thinks he's the most likely suspect. Number 3 is kind of like a tinfoil hat theory, the drifter theory. Police files mention reports of vagrants and construction workers camping in the woods that summer. One line of speculation was one of these vagrants, a transient or hitchhiker, stumbled upon the teenagers and attacked them in a drunken rage. It's barely a theory, there's no names, there's no evidence, but it does explain a little bit of randomness and a lot of the brutality, especially if they were outnumbered, considering the fact that these were 4 people who were murdered, or 3 people and 1 guy who was almost murdered. They believe that a group attacking another group is a lot more likely than just one man doing it. But this theory kind of disappeared after the German was identified as a possible suspect. Theory number 4 is the revenge motive. So it says that one of the boys had been in a bar fight earlier that day with someone from Espoo, and part of this theory is that someone followed them out of the town after the bar fight for payback. The police couldn't verify the fight, but the locals were able to kind of match some descriptions of this happening. But also, it's one of those like very unlikely theories, but it has to be mentioned. You know? What do you guys think? Out of all 4 theories, who do you guys, or do you guys still believe that maybe our boy, our main squeeze, Nils, was the guy who did it? Like, do you guys think they were targeted, or is this more someone looking for them specifically, or just like a random attack? I guess is the gist of the theories.
Yeah. So the first one was the blonde guy. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
The second was the German guy.
Yeah, the first one was the blonde, who was seen hiking around their tent and campsite, like very close by, right after the murder scene. Number 2 is the German, who showed up the day after to a hospital covered in cuts and bruises and possibly blood. And he was also rumored to be like Russian foreign intelligence. Number 3 is there's 2 groups. There was a group of homeless people also camping in the area, and a group of construction workers camping around the area. And they believe that because it was 4 people, it would be easier for a group to have attacked them rather than a single individual to take down all 3, especially since they weren't like young. I mean, they were teenagers, but they were like young adults, you know. And number 4 is the bar fight. They all got into a bar fight the day earlier, and they believe someone from the bar might have followed them for revenge.
I'm not buying the bar fight.
No bar fight? Okay.
It just feels like if someone were that angry that they would follow someone to a forest and do all that, like, they would have probably been caught by then, is what I'm assuming. Because there would be much less planning because it happened the day before. Like, you can't just plan all that out and be like commit a perfect crime.
Yep.
But again, I don't know. think
Did they go to a bar before?
They did.
Sorry, go ahead.
one of them did.
The police couldn't verify that the fight happened, but the locals were saying that it did.
Yeah. If I'm being honest, like the group one sounds very believable, like the homeless people or the construction workers. But I'm leaning towards the German deed.
Okay.
Mainly because of the blood and the bruises.
Oh yeah, like, exactly. And it's like, you know, after a group murder, of course, you're gonna assume there was some scuffle. And there's this there's only one guy who shows up to the hospital, just like looking disheveled like this. That's crazy.
Yeah. And like, the kids were stabbed, so if he has cuts, it kind of makes sense. If they're trying to fight back, he has cuts instead of just bruises, you know?
Yeah. How about you, Jared?
Kind of in the same vein. I think that the number 2 one sounds the most plausible purely because, you know, of the rumors and him even saying that he knows something about it already.
Yeah.
But also, number 3 makes a lot of sense purely based on just like a numbers game where you're just saying how they're like young adults and then like multiple homeless and or construction workers would overpower them.
I think that's where I'm leaning to. Just because, like, even if, you know, they were jumped, right? Like, they're inside the tent, they're sleeping. Like, one guy versus all 4 of them seems like a tall task unless, like, you know, you're like a trained killer or assassin or whatever. But then there's like no real motive to do it unless you're just like a serial killer and just like, oh, I see like a vulnerable group. So I think like maybe, you know, they're kids, they're probably drinking, unconfirmed. You know, they're maybe rowdy, rambunctious, and maybe like some people didn't like that and they like, it just escalated. I think the German might be too convenient, if that makes sense. It like, oh, like of course it's him. Like it feels like, I'm not gonna say it feels like a plant, but I feel like maybe there was like one person who had like a bad reputation around the area, and they kind of just like tunnel visioned onto that guy. The whole thing about him claiming to have known what happened at the lake is a little mysterious, but also like he was hecka old by then. Maybe he was just like senile, and he was just like, you know how like some people just like want the clout at the end of their life just to make sure that, you know, they're remembered for something. Like a lot of people in prison claim to be like famous serial killers, and then they get questioned, and then it turns out they didn't do it, and they just wanted the notoriety, the fame. They might be a little bit like that.
I would say, I don't know how Finnish courts work, but like in America at least, if let's say you're being tried for a crime, you can, you know, just putting a bunch of people like this in front of their face and confusing the hell out of them, not only does it get them off your backs, but it also, in like a court of public opinion with, you know, a jury, if there's just too many potential suspects that actually have a decent like argument, then they could, you know, rule it either like a mistrial or like a not guilty because there's just too many things pointing at other things. So maybe that was the goal for like someone's PR team, I don't know, or lawyers to do that.
True. But also it's like, it's hard to rule out the guy who walked away from all this.
For real.
Just because, look, like you're gonna, I feel like even back then we all look at footprints or like, you know, boot prints to determine like proximity to the crime, like what shoe size they're wearing, you do they own this particular shoes? I've heard of some cases where they're like, oh, this shoe is like only sold from this one store in this area, so we're gonna take a look at who bought from this area, and that's how they're able to like track down who the murderer is. So if you know, kind of like that process, like, okay, maybe I get rid of my boots, or whatever, and that's like one less thing to get tied into. And I feel like it might be easier to get a jump on people when you don't expect, or like when you're already in the tent and they don't expect you to go after them, because like I feel like you can take care of like at least two before like the third realizes what's happening, if you're just gonna go for like a quick cut or stab.
No, you're right, but I mean, I feel like if it's in the middle of the night or something, or even just in the woods like that, you can get away, especially if you have a weapon.
Yeah. Also, my thing is like, if the locals could hear the music, why couldn't they hear the screams? They're like saying, oh yeah, no, we knew they were there, they were like playing loud music, that we could hear the laughter. Okay, you can hear all that, but you couldn't hear someone getting murdered, 3 people getting murdered, 4 people getting attacked overnight. Like, I don't know, sounds suspicious. Sounds suspicious to me.
Maybe it's kind of a I don't know if I can say it.
Look the other way type of place.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have if you guys still remember all the theories, we have another guess the facts about all of the theories. So first one was blonde guy, 2 was the German, 3 was the groups, and 4 was the bar fight. Theory number 1 is the attacker's DNA was later found on the tent and was found in a bar nearby. Theory number 2 was that the case was closed after Nils was acquitted, but was officially reopened again in 2020. I guess that's not really a theory, that's just a random fact about this case. Theory number 3 says that the lake is now haunted by these victims.
For sure. As it should be.
Theory number 4, as it should be. Theory number 4 is that in 2017, there are leaked recordings of Nils allegedly, confessing to the crimes. Alright, so 1 is the DNA is found later, and then later in the bar. Number 2 is the case is officially reopened in 2020. Number 3 is that ghosts. And 4 is that Nils confesses to the crime.
So which one is true?
Yeah, which one is true?
Which one is true? I'm gonna go with number 2. That it reopened in 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, that one being out, not necessarily out of place, but that one being like something Glenn caught on reminds me of the last podcast episode where I had the Digimon had the black flame and then it didn't actually have a black flame when I drew it. So I feel like Glenn might have written that one. He's like, oh shit, that one's not a theory. That one's literally a fact. Or that is the fact and everything else Glenn made up. I don't know.
It's just a little out of place, huh?
Yeah, the fact that it's out of place makes me want to look at it more.
Mm-hmm.
But you said the third one was what again?
Ghosts. They're now local legends claim that the lake is now haunted by these victims.
Do you guys think Finnish people believe in ghosts?
I think so.
Well, yeah, probably.
I mean, they're still part of like the whole Nordic Viking traditions, right? And I
like Viking,
and I feel like with that like those traditions, they have like a big belief of like the afterlife, and then Not necessarily, yeah. I was gonna say Valhalla, but I feel like people don't really fight like that anymore. So, just like just something going on afterwards.
And what was the first one again?
The first one was the DNA was found in the tent, and then was later found in a nearby bar.
I want to say that one, but I don't think it's that one.
In a nearby farm.
Bar.
Okay. What was the last one again? The fourth one?
Nils, his confession was leaked in 2017.
Oh, I think it's that one.
A leaked confession. Allegedly, I haven't seen it. He was with family. He was kind of just like talking or whatever, and one of his family members recorded him saying and posted it somewhere. But I feel like, okay.
You feel like okay?
Not saying if that's true, but if it was true, would it matter? Like, what's the statute of limitations for a murder?
You can't. Well, in Finland.
Is there a statute of limitation on murder in Finland? That would be it. That would be it.
I'm not sure, but like, I mean, what is that called? I mean, can get tried for it twice.
Double jeopardy.
Yeah. Double jeopardy.
Is that a worldwide thing, or is that just an America thing?
I don't know. I mean, it's America, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It sounds like other places might have it. Maybe.
Oh.
But then they would find obviously another way to get you, right?
Well,
So,
what I just learned is there is no statute of limitation for murder in Finland, meaning that prosecution for murder is possible regardless of the time that has passed since the crime was committed.
See?
Wow.
I will say,
William.
it's a life imprisonment, but you can get parole after 12 years for murder. I feel like that's,
Yeah, they have
Not too
a very rehab oriented prison system. I don't know if you guys saw that video that went viral a few years ago. Of, like,
Oh yeah, they had like
Finland's
Xbox
prison
and
system. Yeah, like they're allowed to leave the prison at times and just go
Yeah.
to town. I think that was Finland.
I think I saw the exact same thing that you're thinking of, and I also don't know if that was Finland, but I think we're in the general area.
Yeah, it was Europe. I know that for sure. But Jared,
What do the trees outside look like?
What do
They're
the
like
trees?
A deep
What do the sky
lime
look
forest
like?
green mix.
The sky had the aurora borealis.
Jared, what are you feeling? What do you believe?
I've been on the fence between number 2 and number 4. To be honest, I feel like number 1 though could be that, it's a little too obvious, but it ends up being the actual answer.
Okay.
You know what? I'm just gonna say 1. I'm just gonna say 1. See what happens.
Okay. So 1 was the bar, 2 was reopened, 3 was the ghost, and 4 was the confession. Recap me what you guys were choosing.
Choose the ball.
Reopen, and then he chose number 1, and I chose and then Yish said
The confession. Okay. The true answer is, you won't believe it. It was number 3. Local legends claim that the victims still haunt the lake site to this day.
as they should be.
As they should.
Deserved.
Well deserved. Yeah, I also can't believe that. The other ones where I was just like, okay, let me see if I can type this in. But yeah, apparently you can hear people partying still at night, even though people don't really camp there as often. Also, in contrast to real life, you can hear people getting murdered at night. Even though when the murders happened, no one heard it.
Dude, I dare you. I dare you to camp there.
Dare me? Bro, it's outside. What am I?
All right.
Am I like a...
I'll say this right here, right now. If somebody sponsors the podcast with a decent budget, we'll go camp there.
Glenn will definitely go there.
All of us, some of us, we'll go. We'll go camping.
Announce that some of us
in Lake Bottom in Finland. Yeah.
Jared will come.
No.
Yo, I don't have a passport, guys. I can't go.
Crazy.
My passport expired. So I think it's just
that's too bad.
Dang.
We can get it
No.
expedited.
He will do it in Skinwalker Ranch. Since
I
he
feel
doesn't
like
need
that's
to go
worse.
there.
I would rather take the ghost than Skinwalkers, my guy. Because what are ghosts gonna do? Haunt me? Skinwalkers
What
will
is a Skinwalker gonna do to you? You know?
rip my skin in half and wear me as a suit. That's what's gonna happen.
Why did I just imagine that, dude?
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
Like, they just like
Imagine him doing like the fucking monkey from SpongeBob, the gorilla
they just
monkey suit.
they just zip me up.
Well, is it like hot dog or hamburger?
Ooh, I would definitely get hot dogged. I think, like top to bottom, from like taint to head. I'd just get zipped and then unzipped. You know, not
So,
not
like,
that.
imagine
That's
hot
what.
dog, it goes through your face, or like it's rotated 90 degrees and goes across the side of your body all around. You know what I mean?
Ooh, maybe that. Maybe that. I think because like skinwalkers don't care about faces, so I feel like I'll just get zipped in the face, and then it'll just be like zipper face, you know.
That's a
Yeah.
hard name.
Zipper face. Welcome to my metal band.
Like a hoodie. You know, like a babe hoodie.
Yeah, exactly. Does that little shark
The Glen
and
Babe
camo.
hoodie.
All right. Well,
What sort of face would you be making?
pain or surprise? It depends. Do I see the skinwalker or does he sneak up behind me? You know, different faces.
Actually, what kind of face do you think you would choose to make you the most?
Like permanently. If I was turned into a Bape hoodie, can I do a permanent wink? It's like a
Yeah.
you know like a no, but then I just look like I have a lazy eye because you need the circumstance.
Yeah, there's a little tear coming out.
I feel like the most boring would be neutral, but realistically, like crying, sad crying, because I'm dying. You know,
Okay.
I'm getting zipped. What would you guys choose if you were turned into a Bape hoodie? What is your face?
If I saw you, no, what is my face?
No, you don't see me. You see a skinwalker in Finland when we go out.
If I saw you,
I'm choosing your face as a skinwalker wearing you.
Oh, so I get got first, and now they're coming after you to wear your skin afterwards.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I would say. Man. Definitely just mouth wide open.
That's how he gets in. He full on dives into your mouth, rips you open, and then wears you.
I think I'd be like a frowning, mouth open, like weeping eyes.
Yeah.
Like
I see that.
mask, you
I
know?
see that. Yeah. Yep. Jared, what's your big face?
I don't even think they're allowed to wear my face.
Is that one Smiling Friends episode?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Especially in Finland. He's doing.
I don't think they're allowed to wear my face. That's funny.
Alright, well, more than 60 years later, Lake Bottom is peaceful again. Surprisingly, families still swim there, people still picnic and fish. But every so often, people look across the water, sees one part that's distinctly empty, and remembers what happened there. 4 teenagers, 1 tent. Sounds like another genre of videos. 4 teenagers, 1 tent. 1 survivor. Ooh, kinky. No fingerprints. No fingerprints, no weapons. And a question that remains unsolved. Who killed them? The answer might be somewhere at the bottom of that lake, or it might be buried along with the rest of the evidence. And that concludes the Lake Bottom saga. We still have a little bit of time here, so we actually are going to shift gears into other true crime stories, one-shots. So welcome to the one-shot section of episode 26. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay. This one I think we're all familiar with. It's called the Black Dahlia, committed in Los Angeles, 1947. So in LA, Elizabeth Short, better known as the Black Dahlia, was found brutally murdered in an empty parking lot. And this became one of Hollywood's darkest myths, which is a true fact. 1. Her body was discovered by a studio security guard. 2. The killer drained her body completely of blood. 3. A lipstick message was scrawled on her body.
Sorry, who was found dead? Because your mic cut.
Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia.
I'm gonna say number 3 was real.
The lipstick's message on her body?
And was it a smiling face?
Was it a smiling? What do you guys think?
Okay, repeat the options just briefly again.
1, her body was discovered by a security guard. 2, the killer drained her body of blood completely. 3, a lipstick's message was scrawled on her body when she was found.
I don't think it's the blood drain because it's straight out of a Dexter subplot. If Dexter got it from that is actually insane. And Dexter was actually a book originally, so that's even more crazy if the author just completely took it from an actual murder case. So I think Luis is right with the lipstick.
Yeah,
what do you think, Jared?
I agree.
Number 3.
Number 3. So we're all leaning towards lipstick? All right.
Sure,
well, the answer is number 2. Elizabeth Short's body had been completely drained of the blood before being placed in the field. A detail that shocked even veteran LAPD detectives. Isn't that wild? That's just scary.
Wait, what was it again? Sorry.
So the body was drained of blood.
Of blood? Oh, that's crazy.
So they did do a Dexter. Round number 2 hits closer to home is the Zodiac Killer, who operated 1968 to 69.
Okay, I might know this one. I've seen enough movies on this one.
NorCal, late 60s, the Zodiac Killer taunts police with letters and ciphers. 5 confirmed murders, or maybe more. Which fact is true? 1. One of the Zodiac cipher was officially solved in 2020. 2. The Zodiac always wore the same hood with a white crosshair symbol. 3. The killer left behind fingerprints at every scene, but it was only partial.
One more time, sorry.
1 is one of the ciphers was finally solved in 2020. 2, the Zodiac was seen to be wearing the same hood with a white crosshair symbol each time. And 3, the killer always left a fingerprint behind, but it was always partial.
Oh, that's crazy. I'd say number 1.
Number 1. Okay. Cipher.
Jared, you go ahead because I think I know this one.
Honestly, I'm feeling number 1. I feel like I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah. I'm also leaning towards that one because it sounds very familiar. And I remember Zodiac being back in the news around 2020. And something about his cipher. So I think it's that one.
You guys are correct. It is number 1. In December 2020, Codebreakers finally cracked his 340-character cipher sent to the San Francisco Chronicle, revealing a message bragging that he wasn't afraid of the gas chamber. Yeah, that was I do remember that time. Also, because it was like in the middle of the pandemic, I was just like, oh yeah, people have nothing but time. Like, oh, let me just take a look at what murders haven't been solved yet. Yeah,
we gotta get Robert Downey Jr. on this.
I know. Oh, discombobulate. Are you talking about that one? Oh wait, no.
so,
Are you talking
yeah.
about Seven? Or
It's the one where it's the Zodiac. Oh,
Is it the
Mark
Zodiac?
Ruffalo, or is it?
no,
the
they're
Zodiac
both in
movie,
it.
Yeah.
I keep
Okay,
on
yeah.
getting those movies confused. Yeah, but yes, you're right. Number 3, we're gonna go across the pond here to the Yorkshire Ripper. I'm not gonna keep on going because that was terrible. Peter Sutcliffe.
Where is that?
The UK. Peter Sutcliffe terrorized northern England for 5 years, murdering 13 women before his arrest. Which fact is true? 1. He was caught before he left his driver's license at a scene. Oh, sorry. He was caught because he left his driver's license at a scene. 2. He was finally arrested during a routine traffic stop. And 3. A surviving victim identified him in a police lineup months before capture. Which one is correct? He left his driver's license, he was caught during a routine traffic stop, and 3, he was identified by a surviving victim.
Ooh, routine traffic stop.
Okay.
I'm gonna go against the mold and say the license thing.
Okay. So 1 license, 2 traffic stop. The answer is 2. Police stopped Sutcliffe for fake plates on his car and discovered hidden weapons in the trunk. And that stopped the Ripper's reign. We're gonna go back a little closer to home for the second to last one. Number 4, the Golden State Killer, operated during the 1970s, 1980s. He burglarized, assaulted, and murdered across California for more than a decade, and then he vanished. Which fact is true? 1, he was a former police officer. 2, he always left behind a single gold coin, which created his moniker. 3, he was caught because of handwriting analysis.
Or the last one.
Handwriting analysis? Okay. Luis?
Yeah, the coin one that's so corny for a killer to do. I'm sorry.
That sounds like a leprechaun. Did you guys ever see that one movie? Side note. Luck of
the Irish?
Luck of the Irish. Yeah.
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen Luck of the
I remember
Irish?
that movie.
This land is your land.
No.
This land is. That was a good one. It ended, that movie, spoiler alert, ended with a basketball off with a leprechaun. If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
They played a very intense basketball game with the leprechaun.
Interesting.
Dang, I forgot about that.
So 1 handwriting. Luis, which one are you go?
I'd say the handwriting as well.
And for you, Jared.
I'm gonna say. Yeah, I think we'll go.
You said 1?
I was gonna say I think I'm gonna go with number or the handwriting one.
Okay, so 3 for handwriting. The answer was number 1. He was a former police officer. Joseph James D'Angelo was finally identified in 2018 using genetic genealogy, linking his DNA through a family tree on a public ancestry database. So pretty much, I think one of his relatives did like a 23andMe type thing, and he left DNA at one of the scenes. So when they signed up for one of those programs, they were able to link that family's DNA with his DNA and kind of like cross-matched everything, and that's how they found him.
Wow.
All right, and kind of leaning more towards what's going to happen soon is the last guessing game. This is the John Benet Ramsey case, which is very popular. 1996, Boulder, Colorado. 6-year-old beauty pageant contestant John Benet Ramsey was found murdered in her family's home on Christmas Day. A ransom note, a basement crime, and decades of speculation. Which fact is true? 1. The ransom note was written on paper from inside the house. 2. The family dog alerted the neighbors of the crime, but no one checked. 3. A confession was mailed anonymously in 2001.
Ooh, the last one.
The confession?
Yes.
Okay. What was the first and second one again?
The first was the ransom note for John Benet Ramsey was written from paper from inside the house. 2. The family dog alerted neighbors to the crime.
What was 3?
A confession was mailed anonymously in 2001.
I'll go with confession.
Okay, 2 confessions.
You know, I'm gonna say number 1.
Number 1, the ransom note was written on paper from inside the house. And the correct answer is number 1.
Yeah.
Congrats, Jared. The ransom note was from inside the house. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this case. Pretty much, this young girl was like a beauty pageant winner, and she was like super famous as a child, like a child actress, pretty much type deal. And on Christmas, they got a note saying that she was kidnapped and that they needed to send money to get her back. So like they contacted the FBI, the police, things like that. But it was later found that she was inside the house the whole time. She was like found hanging in the basement or something. And that the ransom note came from like a stationery from a side table from inside the house. So a lot of speculation is, was it someone from the family who wanted the money? Because the dad recently got like a super huge bonus at the time, like maybe like $500,000 or something. So they wanted that money. Maybe less. It was like $50,000 or probably, which was still a lot in the 90s. And I think someone wanted to do that.
Huh.
Yeah. Maybe we'll go over that case later on in the day.
That case? Okay, yeah. I was going to ask, but probably best not to know.
Yeah. All right. So, congrats, everyone. To the listeners at home, if you guessed right, that was great. To the co-host here, that was fantastic. 5 cases. 5 slivers of truth buried under decades of mystery, from Hollywood to quiet suburbs. If you guessed 3 or more correctly, you are officially part of the cold case team. Congrats. This is the part of the show where we are going to promote all the stuff that's coming out, because we have a lot of those. Take it away.
Who goes first?
Listen to the last episode if you haven't yet. It's a good one.
Oh yeah, last episode and last couple of episodes, honestly. And then by this point, Cryptoware should be out. So go ahead and listen to it. Check it out. And it should be on all platforms as well. And just keep streaming Cryptoware. Check out the online store, because that should be up as well again. And yeah, links in bio, Linktree down in the description of this video. Thank you to Glenn for hosting always these fun mystery horror sort of episodes.
Thanks for having me on.
It honestly made the hour zoom by.
Has it been an hour? It's been a while.
Yeah, it was fun.
Neat. Well, thank y'all. And more stuff coming from all of us soon. Happy holidays if you celebrate any. Happy just random day of the week. Happy week.
Random day of the week. Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Tuesday.